What is an hour's worth of your time worth? And now think about this. What podcast-related tasks are you doing episode to episode that are taking up your time, which is not worth that hourly rate that you just told yourself? Let's talk about it on this video. Hey, I'm Kerry Green from Podcast Fast Track, and I'm just going to warn you right up front, this is a sales video. But hang on for a second. The way I think about sales is I'm trying to explain something to you that is for your benefit. And if you decide it's not for your benefit, then hey, ignore the video. But if you decide what I'm talking about really would benefit you, then let's have some interaction and talk about how it could look. Now, what I'm getting at with this hourly rate question that I started the video with is that there are a lot of podcast things out there that you have to do for your podcast to keep it rolling, to keep it optimized, to keep it up to date when the industry changes happen. Let me give you some examples here. Okay, what you're looking at here is the Libsyn 5 dashboard. You've got all your stats, you've got all your episodes, you've got all your settings down here in the bottom. When things change in the industry or things on your podcast need to be tweaked, you have to come in here and manage your RSS feed, manage your settings, manage all those things. That's one example. Captivate has a similar thing with all this content over here on the side that you've got to manage. Here's Podbean, same thing. You've got all the settings. Buzzsprout, you've got all the settings here across the top. Okay, so back to that hourly rate question that I started with. How much time do you have to spend every month to do those sorts of things? To look at your RSS feed, to analyze your stats, to do all those kinds of things? And is it worth that amount of time that you're putting in? Or would it be better for you to pay a one-time $30 every month and have a team like mine that understands podcasting and knows how to optimize all those things do it for you? Let's take a look at the kind of things that might be included in that. Okay, let's start out with your RSS feed management. That means doing the things that keep your RSS feed running well. Now, most media hosts are going to be reliable in this respect, but there are things that happen. There are new integrations that come in that you've got to set up yourself. There are new directories and platforms that you want your RSS feed to be submitted to. There are changes to existing directories and processes relating to them. There are updates to match new industry standards and needs. All that has to be done inside your media host, and you don't always even know when they're happening. My team keeps track of that kind of thing. We do it so you don't have to. That's part of what this $30 a month podcast maintenance service would provide for you. Okay, let's talk about the statistics that your media host provides for you. They are there. You can read them anytime you want, but do you understand them? And do you understand which of those metrics to look at and why you should look at them and what sort of strategy you should put in place because of the data that's given to you? Instead of taking hours to dig through the stats and figure out what's relevant for you and the strategy you want to do, why not let someone guide you through that? We will do that as part of our podcast maintenance service package. And then there's all kinds of podcast-related questions that come up throughout the time that you're publishing your podcast. New platforms that come out. How do you use them best? New things you hear on podcasts about podcasting. What's relevant for your show? All that kind of stuff. What would you say if you had a direct line to a team like mine via a Slack channel where you could ask questions like that anytime you want, get a professional, educated answer to help you make decisions regarding the strategy you're going to apply to your podcast? That's included in our podcast service and maintenance package. And then lastly, it's a good thing to refresh your podcast now and then. That might mean a new intro, a new outro, a new voiceover. All those sorts of things are things you can do to freshen it up and keep your audience engaged and excited about your show. We will do an assessment with you once a year as part of our podcast maintenance and service package to help you assess what you should be changing, how to change it, and we will even help you change it by helping you source the music, source the outro, the intro, the announcements, whatever it is you're going to do. And then we'll mix it all for you as part of our service. So it goes right back to the question I started out with. What is an hour of your time worth? And how many hours are you spending doing the kind of tasks that I've described? If you think $30 a month would be worth taking all that off your hands so you can do things that are more important, reach out to us. We've got a podcast maintenance and service package that will fit your needs.